Welcome back to PC Perspective. Today we're going to take a look at a high-end overclocked ultra gaming system from Puget Systems that utilizes a 6-core Intel processor and a pair of GTX 480 GPUs. If you've never heard of Puget Systems before, they are a niche system builder that goes from anything from sub $1,000 gaming rigs up to the ultra expensive water-cooled overclock systems like the one we have here. What's more important though is what Puget does for the customer. Let's take a look at the Puget customer service experience. First thing you see when you open your new Puget computer is this booklet. You actually see it actually has a picture of your case right here. You open it up and you've got a nice little personalized letter thanking you for purchasing the system, a quick getting connected guide. But really what's interesting here is when you get into quality control sheet. You can see lists of building and assembly, phase 1 testing, installations, phase 2 testing, quality control. What's interesting here is you can actually see the names of the technicians that worked on your PC, what times they completed all these tasks, all the way up through benchmarking, testing things, packing and shipping. And they even have benchmarks of your system, overclock tests, burn-in tests, crystal mark disk tests, Cinebench, some games and Windows experience scores, all kinds of information here, Dirt 2 benchmarking. They have temperature logs. They have a whole lot of information here. You can tell that they spent a lot of time with each individual PC. And what's more interesting here is that all this data was available to us as the system was being built on their website in real time. So you could see, you could follow your computer along exactly step by step through the process. You can even see pictures of your computer while it was being built, right before it was being shipped. The booklet has listings of all of your components, so you have easy access to support phone numbers, RMA phone numbers, things like that. It's also good just to have a listing of all of the components that were built into your system there. So overall, it's a nice experience. It's kind of a unique experience, and I think it adds to the value of this system that you purchased. Another nice thing that Puget Systems does is, they're enthusiasts too. They understand what it's like to not have all of the hardware available to you that came with your motherboard, for example. They actually include basically everything that came with any of your components, your extra hardware from cables, nuts and bolts, screws, extra fans that maybe you wouldn't have used because our system is water cooled, but you might want to use in the future, extra blocks or mounting kits for the coolants, water blocks and that kind of stuff in case you change systems. You still have access to use all of your components. You've got all of your manuals here, you've got your motherboard manual, anything that you might need that came with the case or came with the power supply or came with any component in there is still available to you. Puget Systems decided to use the Antec P183 case for this custom built rig. It's a very popular case, nice look to it. It's got external access to USB, eSATA, audio cables, a lock if you need it. You can open it up here and you'll see we've got our Blu-ray drive, some card readers. We've actually got these really kind of cool access to your air intake filters. Pretty nice. And then of course for our water cooling configuration, you can see here part of the coolants unit. And what you're seeing here are temperatures, various places, locations, sensors inside the case, and speeds of the fans that you can adjust up or down as you will, or leave them on automatic. On the side of the P183, you'll notice there's a window cut in here that is not seen by default with this case. It was actually a custom modification by the Puget Systems guys that off-site they use a water jet to cut this window and add the plexiglass to it and that kind of stuff. So it does add some nice visual appeal to the system. Now once we take this side off the case and detach this one fan, you can look inside and you'll see a host of high quality components as well as really good workmanship here. There is a pair of GeForce GTX 480 GPUs, water cooled with the coolants water blocks. Also a coolants water block cooling the 6-core Core i7 980X processor that it is overclocked to 4 gigahertz. The motherboard is the Asus P6 X58D premium motherboard. Very high-end motherboard, lots of overclocking options, lots of features like USB 3.0 and that kind of thing. There is 6 2GB modules of DDR3 1600 memory, so you get 12 gigs of total system memory in here. A lot of memory, a lot of very, very fast memory as well. And you can tell by looking at it here that everything's very clean. You don't see cable clutter. Everything is really wired very well. The fluid here, tinted blue. There's blue LED lights in the water blocks as well as in the fans. We've got one radiator here, one big radiator up top, and we'll show you all those in more detail too. So no doubt the hardware is impressive, but what about the software and performance? In terms of benchmarks, the Puget Systems computer was fast. If we look at 3D Mark Vantage results, the overall 3D Mark score on the extreme setting was 32,136, a huge jump over any of our other systems, in a large part thanks to the SLI'd GTX 480s. For example, the GPU score with this configuration was over 30,000. With a single GTX 480, it was just over 17,000. So you can see there's a lot of scaling involved with the multiple GPUs. Also, if we look at just CPU performance, our standard Core i7-980X system scored about 32,600 in the CPU test, while this overclocked model almost reached 37,000, another big boost. Pavre is one of our favorite benchmarks for multi-threaded systems, and in this case, the overclocking of the CPU to 4 GHz boosted our performance quite a bit, from about 6,700 points to 7,500 points on the Puget system. Memory bandwidth was also impressively high thanks to the DDR3 1600 memory from Kingston in the system. We got over 24, almost 24.5 gigabytes per second of bandwidth with 12 gigs of memory in the system. And finally, the Valve source map compilation was about 15% faster on the Puget system than on the base Core i7-980X system that we had tested before. That's obviously a CPU-based benchmark, so again, the overclocking of the processor hard at work there too. We should also note that when we turned on the system, there was no bloatware. It was a very clean desktop, right to the user experience. You know, they did install the CyberLink software so you could access your Blu-ray drive and that kind of thing, but other than that, there wasn't anything on there, no pop-ups, nothing to weigh down your system. Puget was adamant about making sure you got every bit of performance out of your system that you paid for. As you might expect, a system with this kind of specifications as well as performance is going to be expensive from a system builder. The price on our build was $6,199. Yes, that's high. Yes, not a whole lot of people watching this video are going to be able to afford a system like this. And yes, if you go to Newegg or Amazon and price out a system with very similar specifications, you would be able to get the exact same parts for a lot lower price. There are some things you won't get. You won't get the overclocking of your part automatically. You'll have to do that yourself. You don't get the support, the warranty. You do not get the window cut in the side of the case. There's other little things like that go missing. Obviously, a lot of people will still want to build their own, but for those of you that don't, this is a viable option. In terms of the warranty and support, Puget actually offers a default 1-year warranty for all of their systems, regardless of what they cost or where they ship to and that kind of stuff. In this price, however, for our system was a lifetime labor 3-year parts warranty, which is actually pretty good for a system like this. So, you know, even if 2 years down the road your motherboard fries, they will replace it for free, new part, labor covered, all that good stuff as well. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a new system to build. Overall, we were pretty impressed with what Puget sent us. Performance, the build quality, the cleanness of everything inside of it. If you're looking for a gaming rig to power your next system, give Puget a look. For now, I'm Ryan Schrout. Thanks for watching.